Backstage Features. It's so nice to meet you both.
Hi, Grace.
Congratulations on season 2 of Carnival Row. This show is amazing. I'm wondering, what was that like for both of you, kind of going into this character that you've had a first season to kind of create, but now you've had time to develop them more in season 2? Jamie, I'll start with you.
Yeah. Well, for me, listen, I love season one. I love working on season one, and it was season one was very collaborative too. And there was really an element on set, whereas if you'd done your homework, which every actor really had, and that's not always the case, but every actor in this show really had done their homework. They'd built the character and everything, and very strong. There was a freedom on set that really puts one at ease and makes it more fun. So when I came back for season two, I was really, I was really anticipating something fantastic, but I didn't know it was going to be as good as it was, because I think Eric made the collaborative element so much more powerful, and that he developed the characters so much more, and it became very three-dimensional, everybody, and it just lent for a really, I thought, powerful human element to what is otherwise a very fantasy world. And it really was a stroke of genius. And when you went back for season two, you had all the brilliant set designers, the makeup artists, the costume artists from season one were all there again, but they'd done even more. Like the monster in season two was breathtaking. The costumes they were just slightly more stylized. It really was, it was a once in a lifetime fantastic journey.
Yeah, everybody stepped up their game that little bit.
Yeah.
Jay, how about you?
Well, for me, season 2 was my first season. So for me, it was weird because there was 2 processes for me. The first one was coming into the show and finding this character, but it's certainly helped going into this world where everyone already knew where they were, and going into these worlds where, these amazing sets and these costumes, which made it so much easier for you to get into these characters. And then it was kind of weird. My season 2, which was when we went back after COVID. It was like kind of the first 4 episodes or so, it's still finding my feet, like, who is this Kane character, and getting into it, because like we don't get all the scripts, we get 2 at a time. And they're always, sometimes they change as well. So it was that thing. But when we came back after COVID, I was a lot more aware of who he was. So for me, yeah, it was like season 1 and season 2 for me, even though I just came in for a second season. So, but it was made so much easier because of his costumes, because of everyone else having done their work and their homework, and seeing how their processes were, and seeing how everything worked. It was, so for me, it was an amazing way of figuring out who Kane was. But Eric at the same time gives you a lot of freedom as well to come up with who is this guy. So that was nice as well.
Yeah, and as you said, this is your first season. I'm wondering, were you a fan of the show before booking your role? And also, what was that like, kind of joining this cast that already had such a huge fan base?
Yeah, I mean, like Carnival Row Carnival Row first came about in like 2016, 2017. And they were casting it then, and everyone was talking about this show because it was Amazon's like first fantasy big show. And I remember reading for it then and reading the script, and it was unbelievable. And it was that thing where it's like, how are they going to pull this off? This is insane. And then it kind of went away, and then it came back again. And I don't remember whether I was doing something else, but it never materialized. And then when the show came out and I saw the cast and saw how beautiful it looked, I was like, wow, what a show. That would be amazing to be a part of. And then I worked with Eric on Daredevil, and then Eric went on to do season 2 of Carnival Row, and he phoned me one day and he was like, hey, I've got this role for you. Do you fancy moving to Prague for a year? And I was like, absolutely. I mean, Carnival Row was, so many people wanted to be a part of this show. Everyone was talking about this show. So for me to be given that opportunity to do that, I was so lucky, so lucky.
And Jamie, I want to ask you, the fans are a huge part of this experience. Do you have a favorite or memorable fan encounter from your time on this set?
Well, that's such an interesting question. Well, in Prague, you know, I may not have known what the fan was saying to me because I don't speak Czech, and
Fair enough.
it's a really hard language to get. But you know, no, the fans were really wonderful. They'd hang out outside the hotel when we were there and stuff, and outside the Brandenbau, I think it's called Brandendorf. I can't remember what it was. Can you remember what the studio was called?
Barendorf.
They'd be outside there, and you'd always have a chat with them. And you know, the enthusiasm they had would always filter into you. And so it's always great to know that people are loving the show and are loving what's happening. Not necessarily, you know, regardless of, you know, of yourself. It's a fantastic feeling to walk onto set knowing that you have a great fan base and that what you're trying to achieve is working.
Yeah, definitely. And my last question for you guys, if you could describe this season in 3 words, what would they be? Jamie, I'll start with you.
This season, I think, is about the oppression of the poor. And it's about how the rich political people can treat other human beings with such disdain, as if they're worthless. And then you have this kind of outside new society, which is preaching a sort of freedom for all and equality. But is there something else going on behind the scenes? And that's what you'll find out if you watch the show.
Jay, how about you?
Well, 3 words: exciting, terrifying, and beautiful. That's what I just this season as. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on the release of season 2, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you,
All right,
Sam.
thank you.